This is the electric volt color of the Xbox Series X controller. And I know it's been a while, I know I haven't uploaded in a while, but let me just show you this one. And it's gonna be a new era for this channel. Now, enjoy this absolute gorgeous controller, this absolute amazing color. And let me just take it out. Battery pack, Duracell. I'm not going to be using that. I'm going to be using it wired for many reasons. Now, let me just show you the controller itself. Now, on the box, there's nothing else, just some, instructions and stuff. Who cares? Look at it. The white. This is similar to lime green, but it's a more yellow than lime green. And lime green with white, just an amazing combination. This is what you get. Let me just, I'm not sure if the focus is there, but that's what it looks like. In the back, black and white, looks amazing. Let me tell you, this part here is textured, so it doesn't slip and it doesn't sweat like the glossy stuff. Triggers, textured again, so you have a good idea where your hands are on the controller. Now I know of course there are many videos about those controllers and about this color as well. It's been out for a very long time, but what I want to do in this video is compare it to the 360 controller, which I've been using for 10 years now, which is this one. And I also want to compare it to the cheaper options, namely the PDP controller that I almost got in white camo. But first, let me talk about the design here. This is amazing. Some people don't like the white side here. I mean, those people to me are absolutely insane. This has to have the white side here, because this combination again with the lime green, which is more yellow than lime green, but let's call it lime green, and a white is one of the best combinations you can have, and of course with some black here to break it up. I actually tried to design my own controllers. For some reason, Microsoft website has issues. They will not ship me a controller right now, even though they say it's supposed to be possible, but it's not. So I cannot receive a controller from them, a custom controller, so I had to buy this one. Now this one, I would say it's a few things, like make those white and those buttons here white. I would keep the original colors on the buttons. This is pretty cool, like the black and the green, pretty cool. Inside, of course, you can see those dots here that show you what color it's supposed to be. Clever idea. Of course, you have USB-C connection, that's what I'm going to be using. The synchronization button for the wireless jack, sound jack, and that's for Xbox specific Xbox headsets. We don't care about this one right now. So just keep looking at it. And let me tell you, that was expensive, man. I had to pay 63 euros without a cable. There was an option to get it with a cable in black for 62 euros. But I just couldn't pass on this color. This color might actually be why I actually got the original controller, like instead of getting the PDP. That said, there are many other reasons why you're gonna get the original controller. This one right here, 360 controller, I've been using on a PC for 10 years. I got it in 2012. This is quality. This is proper quality. Everything about it is like you can feel it. You can just feel the quality in it. Like the buttons you press, the triggers, the weight of it somehow. Now, this is supposed to be lighter, I think, but it actually is more, like it feels heavier. I don't know what to tell you. There are no batteries inside. I haven't put the batteries inside. This one also has no batteries, but again, maybe because it's more compact, I don't know why, but it feels heavier. This one feels a bit, I don't know, feels a bit lighter for some reason. Let me talk about the quality here. One of the reasons why I didn't want to get an aftermarket PDP controller, and the first reason was, the most important reason was that I kept reading again and again about the thumbstick breaking, buttons getting stuck, triggers getting broken, the spring and triggers getting broken. I didn't want to get into that at all, especially after having this one for 10 years. But another reason was the quality. I wanted to be able to feel this amazing quality that you had on the 360 controller, I want to be able to feel it on the buttons and on the triggers and everything. But let me tell you, it actually, like, the buttons feel a bit more, I don't know, plasticky on the 360. As you can see, they're actually louder too. Of course, this has been used for 10 years, so I'm not sure what it used to be like 10 years ago when it was new. But there is something about the buttons here, like, they feel more quality than those. Although, now that I'm using it more and more, I'm getting used to it. The triggers in the back, look, on the microphone here, look how silent they are. Here, of course, louder. Triggers, so they're similar, but now the ergonomics are different. This is supposed to be smaller than the Xbox One controller, and it is smaller, that I will say. I have small hands, so I was happy about it. But it seems to be a bit, because of the design, it seems to be a bit slippery maybe, I don't know. It's not slippery, the material obviously it's textured here. It's not slippery, but like, look at this, I don't have a secure grip on it. I feel like it's gonna fall, it's gonna get out of my hand. Well, with the 360, much more solid, because it has obviously this huge gap here, which is between the battery compartment and the grip itself. And also this is a glossy, like, plastic surface. It seems to stick. Of course, that also means it's gonna get more greasy as you play. While with this one, it's not gonna stick because of the texture, and it probably will not get as sweaty because of the texture again. There is a bit of a chance for your hands to get ventilated through the texture. I'm not sure how big the difference is gonna be, but whatever. Obviously, differences in ergonomics as well when it comes to the buttons. Like, here you have a big power button and the start and select, or whatever options, whatever it's called here. What is it? Like, back and start. No name here. They're to the side of the big button. Here, the smaller button is on here, and the buttons are below it. The D-pad seems to be closer to the stick on the 360 than it is on this Xbox Series X. So when I first started playing with this one, I was a bit troubled because I couldn't exactly find the similar ergonomic style. There were some differences here. When I want to press a button, maybe I would have to, like, change, like, my fingers and stuff. Whatever. Now I'm used to it. I think I just played for maybe a couple of hours, and I think it's pretty good right now. I will not be complaining about this whatsoever. Overall, this is an amazing product. This is light, this is compact, and like the sticks, they have grips again. It's a grippy texture around the actual analog stick. There is nothing on the stick, it's smooth. I think that's going to be very durable because there is nothing to ruin here, it's smooth already. And the sticks around, this is pretty rough texture. I think it's going to be very durable. While with the original controller here, you had the 4 dots for grip on it. Of course, the dots are gone now after 10 years. The whole stick, if you see, it's melted actually. So, like, the plastic part of it seems to be gone away. So I would say this is a better design for durability. It's gonna be more long lasting, probably, although I'm not sure. Now, it looks awesome. It looks awesome with its quality, and overall, I'm extremely happy with this purchase. Let me just tell you a couple of things now. I believe, even though I paid a lot of money for it, if it can last another 10 years, like the 360 did, hopefully I will not be dropping it, because I dropped the 360 and the R1 button started to get a bit broken. After a year or so of using it, it became normal again. But then I got a deadly stick drift, absolutely horrendous, like I couldn't play games anymore. And it's been like this for over a year now. And it's just like I would try to aim with the mouse while playing GTA, and the character would move and mess it up. I would try to steer, it would do whatever it wanted, sometimes it wouldn't even register. Overall, like, I would say this lasted as a healthy controller around 7 years. After that, like, I started to have issues. But still, man, come on, it's 7 years or 10 years, whatever. I'm gonna be freaking 40, almost 40, when this one becomes what this one has become. And I think it has been improved It's better quality, and if I don't drop it, it's probably gonna last longer. I think this actually might never die. It's gonna be like one of those controllers that just live forever. And trust me, I know about those. Look at this. That's a PS1 controller. It's from 2003, and it is still perfectly operational. Of course, the buttons have lost their feeling a bit and stuff, but I've been using it like, I think I stopped using it maybe a year ago, because I was just basically using it to play San Andreas, the old school San Andreas, not the definitive edition. But it still works. I can still use it. I don't use it as much because obviously it's not compatible with many games, and you have to deal with all the the button 1 and button 2, all this crap. While this one and this one, the official controllers and the copycats as well, they operate like Microsoft Xbox controllers. So you will see the right buttons, you will say press A, press B, it will be perfect. You have analog, of course, triggers, they're gonna work perfectly as they're supposed to be. So, you know, I would say again, get the original. If you want to get the PvP or whatever, if you don't play that much, if you play maybe calm games, like maybe if you like play Farming Simulator all day, you probably don't need a quality controller. You should be able to get away with this one. But I also play like things like Rocket League and whatever, and I need performance. In Grand Theft Auto, I have to press to spam A to run, and spam the X button here to jump. I didn't want to get the PvP controller and have to worry about the button getting stuck inside and stuff like that. This stuff doesn't happen with those controllers. Fingers crossed, right? Hopefully it doesn't. But this I've been spamming A for 10 years, still perfectly. Like all the buttons work perfectly. Like everything works perfectly except for the stick drift at this point. And R1, which or RB, as it is in Xbox, that became a bit problematic a while ago, but now it works fine. So just the stick drift. Of course, this is brand new, thank God. There is no stick drift. It's proper. I don't have to replace it. I don't have to do anything. Like maybe I'll show you the calibration page. It's perfect. So whatever. Now, connectivity. Let me just tell you that. What you can do is put the batteries in the compartment here. I don't have to, like, whatever. I'll have to show you how to open a compartment. Actually, it's a bit harsher now. Just leave it. Whatever. I'm probably never gonna open this, honestly, because okay, you're gonna put batteries inside, and if your computer has either a Bluetooth stick or a Bluetooth motherboard, or if it's a laptop which has Bluetooth, you can just connect it like any regular Bluetooth device. Millions of videos on how to do that. It's very easy. Otherwise, you can buy the Xbox receiver, put it in there. It's gonna synchronize again, just like the 360 receiver that I had on a 360 controller. And I'm gonna say something about that as well. So those are the wireless options for connecting to the computer. But you can just get USB-C cable. This is nice, it's braided, it's 3 meters, it's fucking amazing. You connect it and you're done. You're just done, man. Connect it, vibrates. This will flash. You can just press it, sometimes it will go down again and you have to press it. If it's stable like this, it means it's working. It's perfectly working. Just wait for the Windows 10 to install the drivers, it's gonna be working. Now, if it's flashing, it means that the cable is not a data cable, it's only a power cable. Some cables are like that, it's very rare, but if you have it from like a device of some sort that just has a cable inside just for charging, maybe it will not work. But any cable, like a mobile phone cable that can also transfer data, is gonna be fine. So use that, just connect it. It goes inside, it shows up as controller, but if you go on the printers and devices and printers, you go from the control panel and you look into the controller, you will see it says controller, but parentheses Xbox One for Windows. So Windows just with the USB-C controller, just with a USB-C cable, they know that this is an Xbox controller. So everything's gonna work perfectly. You're gonna have button mapping, everything you need to have. So don't worry about it. There is a pack, you can get the controller with the cable from Microsoft, but it was black and I wasn't gonna miss out on this color. There was no reason to do that. Of course, it's a bit more pricey now because I had to pay extra for the cable, but who cares? You know, it's like this, like, I'm so happy. Like, I cannot even tell you how happy I'm with this one. I want to play it just because of that. I just realized now that my shirt is red and so is the cable, so maybe it's not possible to see it, but it's braided. Like, I cannot tell you how happy I am. Like, this is an amazing purchase. I have the best quality controller on the market. I know that if everything goes well, it's probably gonna last forever. I don't have to worry about it. I have a 2 years warranty in Europe, which is crazy. Like, it's light, it's thinball, it has the grippy surface here, so you kind of feel where my hands are on the controller. This is an amazing purchase. I don't know how else to describe this to you, but this is an amazing freaking purchase, man. Like, it looks amazing, it feels amazing, it plays amazing. Ergonomically, maybe the 360 was a bit better when it comes to the grip. Quality wise, kind of feels like the buttons on 360 were a bit better when it comes to feeling, but whatever. Like the triggers maybe too, I'm not sure. By the way, I pressed on the button for some reason, it just stopped the recording on the computer. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But again, high quality. You can just use a USB-C to connect to the computer. It's gonna work perfectly fine. Maybe you're gonna have to download Xbox accessories. Do not do that until you have tested it. If it works fine, don't download that, because many people do that and it glitches out and gets stuck on synchronizing stuff. Now, I do have Xbox accessories anyway, the app, because I had to use it for the 360 controller, and it works fine now with this one, so I will not touch that. I'm not gonna do a firmware update, whatever. I'm not gonna do anything. Please do not get caught up doing a firmware update on a controller that works perfectly. Like, don't do that. You're gonna shoot yourself in the foot. If it doesn't wanna work, you're gonna be stuck with a non-working controller, and then you're gonna be busy troubleshooting a controller that used to work. This is a controller. All it has to do is work. That's all. If it works, it's fine. And on that note, another thing you shouldn't do not buy this controller unless you have the money, of course, to spare, but do not buy this controller unless you need a controller. If you do not have a controller for your computer and you want one, absolutely get the original Xbox controller. Absolutely do that. The money is worth it. Like 5 years from now, you will not care about the money, because it will still be operational, still be looking good. It's gonna be amazing 5 years from now. You don't have to deal with buttons getting stuck inside, sticks breaking, all this stuff. Like I'm reading, like the PDB controllers and stuff. You don't have to deal with that. Hopefully, right? I mean, obviously, if you get the bad apple, it's gonna be bad, but normally you will not have to deal with that. So, absolutely get it, this one. But if you have a 360 controller, or maybe you can find a used controller that works perfectly, then absolutely get the 360 controller. Or an Xbox One, whatever. I haven't tried the Xbox One, I cannot speak on that, but if you can get this thing, you can pay 15 euros, $15, $20, whatever. You can get this for cheap, and it's operational, it's fresh. Like, look at the sticks. If they have the dots on them, the grip dots. If it looks new and it operates perfectly, it has no stick drift, whatever, it has none of that, get it. This is perfect. This is high quality. This is compatible with all games. It's just as compatible as this one is. There is no difference, maybe more compatible because it's more simple. If you can get it wired, so you have to deal with batteries and charging the batteries will only last a few days, no matter what you do. If you play it all the time, you don't have to deal with like getting a receiver for it, although you will find the receiver pretty easily right now, the 360, or a receiver for this one, or a Bluetooth dongle, or the Microsoft dongle, and all this stuff. If you can get it wired, it's gonna be fucking perfect, I'm telling you. One huge advantage here is, obviously, you can just use any Type-C here, so when the cable goes bad, you can just easily replace it, which is what happened with this one. The charging cable went bad. I already had stick drift issues, severe stick drift, like I should have gotten rid of this probably a year ago, but I just kept on it. Eventually the charging cable broke. The wireless pack here does not have, it's kind of broken. I don't know why, maybe because I wasn't using it for all these years. I was just using the plain charge kit, and it just went bad, so I tried to use it now and it couldn't contact properly. This is why I had to stop using this controller, because it was impossible to play. It just disconnect all the time. So after all this stuff happened, that's why I had to buy a new controller. So I'm just telling you, invest. If you're looking for a new controller, invest in the original Microsoft controller. If you have an old Microsoft controller, invest in that. If you have a cheap controller, a third-party controller, it's working fine, keep that. It is fine. You don't have to go look for the quality. You have to like impress your friends or whatever. It doesn't matter, man. It's fine, I'm telling you. Those are perfectly fine. If your controller works, and if it's the official Microsoft layout, or maybe the PlayStation layout, if it works fine in games, you have proper button mappings, if you have analog sticks, you need to have analog sticks though for many games, it's extremely important, and they feel amazing too. If you have all that, keep whatever you have. If you need a controller, either because the previous one broke, or you never had a controller, if you have maybe some cheap controller with no analog sticks and stuff, get this one. Or get a 360 use. I'm telling you, like, because I had to think long and hard, I was gonna buy this one, like a used version of this one, but I was like, those are old, maybe it's gonna work now, but maybe like a few months from now it's not gonna have stick drift again and stuff, because stick drift is very easy. Like everything, PS2 controllers, PS1 controllers, everything gets stick drift eventually. Hopefully this one doesn't, we'll see if they have managed to figure it out. But it's perfectly fine. This is an amazing controller. It has been amazing for like 15 years, whatever it's been out, and it's still amazing. This is the best controller ever, one of the best things I've ever bought. So, like, nothing but good things to say about this controller. Now, this has replaced it, and so far, nothing but good things to say about this amazing creation as well. So, stick around. I will be doing some Farming 19 with mods, Farming 22, Transport Fever, PS2 games. I'm gonna be showing you all kinds of games. It is time to revive this channel again, because it went down for a bit, but I'm gonna be back. And this badass creation right now, right here, it's gonna be a big part of that. So, thanks for watching. I hope that was helpful. Please, any questions, recommendations, whatever, just put them down in the comments. I'm gonna see you in the next one. See you.